Hi, this is Surfer of Life and I'm your host Tommy. Today's guest is an ice hockey professional, Florian Flo Iberer, who has played 18 years as professional. You were best defenseman player in Germany second, most goals by defenseman in Germany second, played in Olympics and 2 times in World Championships. 2013, you became Austrian National League EBEL champion. Your own words, the most important achievement so far is that you have been able to adapt and stay in the game for 18 years and still be productive and effective. Flo, welcome to Surfer of Life.
Hey Tommy, such an honor to have me on the show. Really looking forward to the interview, man.
You're pretty far from my place. You're in Graz. I'm in Helsinki.
Yeah, it's a long distance.
But the distance is okay. How is in Graz? Does your father still have that camper van?
Yes, he still does have the camper van. Yeah, he still
Have you
do.
been traveling using that?
I only once, but not so much lately. But yeah, it's a great ride. We enjoyed it as a family when I was young. But you already know it, so you know.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. It's a great van. Talking about fathers, heard you are going to be a father soon. So
Yes,
congratulations in
thank you so
advance.
much. Thanks. Yeah, it's awesome. What a feeling. I know I'm really proud that I'm gonna be a dad, and met my girlfriend Lisa, and we made a baby in America. So that was the time to come back to Graz and raise a family here.
Exciting times. Exciting
Yes,
times.
very much. Yeah.
Still, we keep it in the family that you are a hockey player. You started playing in Austria, but you actually have a true hockey family. Tell me about
Yes.
that.
Oh, it's goes back to my father, who before he decided to become a doctor played second league hockey, and but always knew he wanted to be a doctor, so he never pursued professional hockey. But when I watched him as a kid, I always wanted to play as well, and my brothers, they always had to come to the rink with me to practice, so they started as well, and so we had 3 hockey players in the family, and my sister eventually played a little bit of hockey too. So yeah, my mom's a real hockey mom, and my family's a hockey family, that's for sure.
No question about what were the talks in the dinner table.
No, we talk about other stuff. There's so much going on in our lives and in everyone's lives, and I'm actually the only one still playing professional hockey, and the other ones, they have new lives and new careers. And Matthias is a father. I think when we met in Helsinki for the World Championship, he was already a father, and it's a life changer, that's for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, let's concentrate on you and start from the beginning. How did you become a hockey player? What was the
Yeah.
start?
It started with youth hockey, and I mean, Graz had a pretty decent program back in the days, and I joined the under 6 team and started learning to skate. And it was for a city kid that didn't go much outside. It was the best thing to get away from home and do something meaningful. And I really enjoyed that, and I never wanted to become a professional hockey player. I just enjoyed the time with the friends and working out and doing something and traveling on the bus, and seeing new places. That was really the motivation. And then by the time I was 15, they let me skate with the pro team a couple times because they were lacking players. And one thing leads to another, and then suddenly I'm at 16 years old. I have my first professional game, and I was really proud, and that was the start of the career, pretty much.
How were you
So
as a player? Oh, sorry to interrupt. How were
yeah,
you were as a player in young age? Were you nervous before games, or were you just enjoying and having blast in the on the ice?
I was always nervous. I'm more of the worrying kind. My when I look back, I always wanted to please the coach and play as good as I can for the coach, so he sees how good I am, and very eager and ambitious, but I had a lack of talent, as you would say, so that didn't take me very far. I tried to play like a top defenseman, and I was really only a bottom 6, and doing the dirty work and working hard. And I always tried to be like the best player on the ice, and obviously that didn't work very often. So, looking back, I probably made a couple mistakes there. But you learn as you go. If you don't learn, you don't make it. So I learned eventually, but that was a long learning process.
Correct. How did you start learning to cope with the fear or the anxiety or the nervousness?
Yeah,
Did it start early times already, or did it take a
yeah, I
long
wouldn't I
time?
wouldn't say fear, but the fear of not performing to where your expectations are, but you got to learn that it comes from within, like you prepare for every game, you practice hard, and things are going to happen, and you gotta let that go. But I started enjoying playing in front of fans and in front of the other people. The harder you work and the better things start going. It just snowballs and you get more confidence, and it's very important. But a lot of coaches helped me. They say don't worry about mistakes, do what you do. Have fun, and that really helped. I think.
Coaches play a big role in ice hockey and many sports, especially the team sports. You said you had some good coaches. Did you have any bad ones? Well, bad is pretty rough word, but
Yeah.
difficult coaches for you, and how did it affect you?
You know what? I rather not talk about the bad ones, but because the bad ones, you try to forget, but you always learn from everybody. You learn even if you feel like you're not treated fair. You still learn something about hockey, something about life. But I had a lot of very very good coaches who told me a lot of stories, and a lot of they gave me a lot of influence on how to prepare myself and how to focus. And I still talk to one of my coaches that I had 15 years ago because he was a great mentor, and I think that's a really good quality in a coach, to have the ability to know your players so well that you can help them in a personal way. And I think I had a lot of good coaches like that too. So a lot of positive stuff.
That's good. What about the mental aspect? Now you've been playing 18 years already. Have you had any mental coaches in the team?
Yeah, we worked in some different teams. They work with mental coaches who they bring them from the outside. It was not always easy because some guys didn't get hockey. They come from other stuff. But I think in a team, it's a lot of mental work together. If you have a good core of people, a good group of guys, then it's always like something that works itself out. We have a good mentality, a good mindset that carries over to other players. And you learn from each other, and I think that's a really really good way. Obviously mental coaching is a huge part in today's hockey, but I think it really starts with the players. It starts from within, how they view the game, and how they view themselves, and how they act. And I think that's a lot of that carries over to other people, and I think that's a really big part of hockey.
What do you think how much one individual can affect the team?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy how one bad moment, like you're angry, you're sad, and you go on the bench, and you're upset with yourself, and everybody can see it on your team. It really brings the whole team down, for example. So like even if something doesn't work out for you, your body language is so huge, I think, in the game of hockey, like that you're always motivated. It carries over. Like if you're motivated, then the guy next to you will be motivated, and if you show it, it really helps. And I think it's a group thing, like you get one guy starting and get two, three, five, and suddenly it's everybody. And then suddenly you have a good atmosphere. And I think you need to bring that every day. I think that's something, the hard work and what hockey is all about, hard work and then sacrifice and all these things, and a positive atmosphere. If you bring that every day, I think that creates a positive atmosphere around you.
Sure, it does. So that's kind of the mental coach inside the
Sure.
team, the whole
For sure,
flow
yeah.
that goes inside there.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
say it's me, but I try to be a positive image, and work like that every day. That even at 34 and a half years old, I try to be one of the hardest workers, and put in a lot of work and show the young guys, hey, like, I'm still competing, and I'm still pushing you guys, and I hope you guys push me too, and have a positive atmosphere and not treat somebody not as an equal. That's a very big part too, I think.
it's good that you accidentally answered that because I kind of meant the whole flow in, on the ice, the whole flow atmosphere. Not you, your flow, I know. Okay, you played in many different leagues and many different teams, and also in different countries. Do you
Yes.
think the affection is same all over the globe? Or is there difference when you play in US, Sweden,
Oh, there's
Germany,
it
Austria?
that's something I've learned, the mentality and the mindset and then how people go to work is very, very different everywhere else, like in every league you go to. And it's really crazy to see all these influences that hockey has and the hockey cultures that are out there. I call it a culture. It's a mindset. How the Finnish people work, how the Swedish people work, how the Germans go to work. It's a very cultural thing, and I learned that, and it was great to see. And I think I learned a lot from everyone. There's a lot of positive in anything. Like wherever you go, I learned something positive. And it's been a great experience, I think, and that makes me mentally stronger, and I'm really glad I was able to experience all of that.
Let's jump a little bit to your career now, just from here. And
Yeah.
year 2001, and you actually put the national team's jersey first time on. He was
Yes.
20. How did it feel? Can you still remember that?
Yeah, I remember that very good because last year I went to the Hockey Hall of Fame, and there was a jersey there from a German player who beat us in the final of that World Championship. And they went up to the A pool, to Canada, Finland, Sweden group, and we lost that year, and it was in Austria, and I was really upset about that because I would never get the chance to go, to the big under 20 World Championship, and it was a big loss because we won all the other games in that year, but German was the favorite. They had 3 NHLers on that team, and they had a very good team, and we couldn't beat them. But it was exciting and it was great, and it was a first taste of where the journey can go, like that you can play with the big boys, and it was a great experience, I think, and especially at a young age like that, and full house. It was in Austria, so we had like 5,000 fans watching us, and it was great, and it was a great experience. And played with Thomas Vanek on the team. He's a famous NHL player, and it was cool. So a lot of good memories in that.
How devastating it is if you lose a final like that? How do you recover from that, and how you cope with that?
Yeah, it's hard. You have that one chance, and then there's so much hope, and then you think, oh, we can beat them. Win one game, we can beat them, and we didn't do it then. But the crazy thing is, a lot of years later, over 12 years later, we played Germany again to go to the Olympic qualification, and it was a do or die game. And we needed a tie, they needed a win, and then we tied the game eventually and lost in overtime, but it didn't matter, and we qualified for the Olympics. So I think that was even more important, and it was a nice way to beat them back, So I was really glad about that.
You got your big victory.
Yes, that was even more important, I think. That's the big stage, the Olympic Games. It's very hard. It's only every 4 years, so you only have 2-3 chances to go there, and Austria is not always making it. So it was a very, very important, game. And I mean, fuck, I was nervous for that one, that's for sure.
How did you do before the game? Is warm-up important for you to get rid of the nervousness, or how do you cope with it? Do you have some methods?
I really try, even if I feel really bad that day. You have a lot of games as a hockey player, and some days, and you've been on the bus, and your legs just feel like they're made of rock or concrete, and then I go out there and I just start. I've had the same routine for a lot of years, and I picked up bits and pieces from other players, and it's just something to get me mentally and physically prepared, and while I'm doing all my work, my runs and my sprints and stretching and activation, I start thinking about the game, and I know when I went through all of this preparation, I'm ready for the game, and it's crazy. It really gets me going, and I'm really really happy for that routine, and I can shorten it down or make it longer, but the core elements always stay the same. So it's really cool, and really happy, But that took a lot of years to learn. So I think it's very important. Preparation is the key to anything.
What about during the game? It is 3 times 20 minutes, and maybe plus overtime, maybe plus penalty shots. So there's a lot of time to think. How do you stay focused the whole game?
Honestly, I try not to think as much. It's that's the best way for me to not get carried away with other things. There's so much going on in a hockey game. You got the fans going crazy, you got the referees making bad calls, guys go nuts when they do, and I just try not to like participate too much in that, and then just worry about how is my next shift looking. Maybe think, okay, did I do right here? Did I do the systems correctly? And then focus. Even if you make a mistake, you can't look back, and even mentally, you don't worry about what happened. You can't change it now. It's gonna be looked at the video in the game after the game, and the coach will tell you, you made a mistake there. But that's not to worry, because you're not gonna be your best if you have that on your mind. You carry weight around, and you need to like let everything go and just re-prepare for the next shift. And I think that's very good. Like they call it living in the moment. You gotta live in that moment that you're in right now. You can't change the past. You can't change the future. But I think it's really a good mindset if you just worry about what's happening right now. What's the next shift? What's going on? I think that's really a big part of how to prepare.
Sometimes the games start pretty bad, and maybe the first period is just sucks, and you're losing sort of the game. How does the team?
Did you watch our last game? Because that's exactly what happened.
No, I didn't. Tell me about that. How do you recover from that if there's a bad start, and as a team and as an individual player, if everything goes bad? But many occasions the team can actually come back and win the game. Yeah. So what happens there?
It's crazy. Just last game, we played 4 games so far in this regular season, and the first 3, I think we were really, really good. We only won 1 out of the 3, but I think we should have won, or we could have won all 3. And then this last game, like we prepared the same way, but I think we were not ready, like physically. We were a little tired, and we were really bad in the first period. We were down 1-0 right away, and nothing was going for us. Like I think they played in our own end the whole time, and then we had one little break, and we were really prepared. Like we had a power play, we scored a goal. We scored a second goal in the last minute of the period, and we were up 2-1, and suddenly everything worked again. I think that's a little bit of combination of luck, but also of staying in the game. Even if it doesn't work, maybe you get a lucky bounce, and maybe things will work for you, but you just can't quit. And I think that's a really big mentality part. Keep going, believe in your systems, don't change. Just because something doesn't work, you make it work, and that's something really that's in our mindset, in my mindset.
Do you think that in this kind of situation, one individual can actually make things happen? That maybe one really good shift, good hit, maybe scoring a goal, maybe blocking a shot that slides the whole team up?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's crazy. I talked to one player before that game, and he goes, "Did you ever see that Claude Giroux video?" I'm like, "No, what do you mean?" No, it's called Claude Giroux, The Shift or something. I recommend to watch it. It's a shift he asked the coach to be in the starting lineup because he wants to show how good he is. And then you see the first shift, it's like 45 seconds. He throws a hit on Sidney Crosby, the best player in the world probably, and knocks him down. Then he gets the puck and scores himself, in one shift. And I mean, that's NHL playoffs. And you're like, yeah, absolutely. One player can make a difference. You just got to put your mind to it. It's like, I'm going to, be really good and do really good stuff. But you got to know how to, obviously. And I think it starts with very little things. Skate hard, work hard. Be mean, and I want the puck, I get the puck first. All these kind of little things that really matter in hockey, and I think that's a mindset thing. We talk about it in practice every day. If you want to do that and you really work at it, it's gonna happen. Not oh, maybe I get the puck. You gotta have it, or I'm gonna separate the guy from the puck. I'm gonna put him on his ass. I think that's things that you prepare mentally more than physically, and I mean that this clip just shows how mentally prepared you can be.
Do you watch a lot of videos during the season?
Yeah, I mean, I watch myself, obviously. Like we have all the games clipped and all your shifts, and it's really hard to watch yourself because you always think like, oh my God, I'm terrible, But it's it really is, because you see so many little mistakes. I rather not watch it sometimes because I know like, oh, I was lazy here. You can tell. When you knew yourself the best, right? So you'd see, oh, I wasn't really working hard there. I didn't have good gap control, and then you get better during the year because you look yourself in the mirror, and I think that's a really, really, really big part about being honest to yourself. If things don't work out, look yourself in the mirror, look at the video, and I think that's a really big part, and then obviously watching a lot of video on yourself, but also other motivational stuff that you pick up from somebody else is really, really huge.
I think being honest to yourself is it's really quite hard, but you think that is the reason why people get good at something, that they really are honest to themselves and they take the shit from themselves.
Oh, for sure. I mean, but in our world, it's hard to be honest to yourself because everybody tells you, oh, I put a nice goal on YouTube. Everybody says, oh, you're the best, you're the best. But it's not that goal. It's all the other stuff that led up to the goal, the hard work, the summers that nobody sees you in the gym, that's the stuff that leads up to this goal, not your talent, not your, your awesomeness. It's the stuff that nobody else sees. That's behind it. And that's something you got to realize as an athlete. And then every athlete will agree, the good season, it starts when the last season is over. And all the work that goes into is a lot of work, and you got to be focused, all year round pretty much with, maybe take a couple of weeks off mentally, but then it's focus on the next year. And then that's a really big part of hockey and any sport probably in general.
18 years as a pro, and you just told me about the amount of work that it takes. 18 years, and you don't really have spare time when you're playing hockey. Maybe spectators, if they don't know the sport that well, they just think, okay, this is the season, but the season sort of continues the whole year around. Only a couple of years, a couple of weeks off probably. How hard work is to be a professional ice hockey player?
And first of all, it's a lot of fun. It's a game we play. It's you maybe win or lose a game, and it's hard. But the real hard stuff is happening to other people. I think it's very, very fortunate to play a game that we love, and that we can do that. As a sport, as a profession, and as my job. And I take a lot of pride in that because I realize how lucky I am. But on the other hand, a lot of people don't know. And I mean, I played almost 900 games in my career, and since I've been 16, I think I could have started working harder when I was younger, but now that I'm in this age, you can't take a time off, because when you're too long gone from the game, it's, might be over because you can't come back because other guys are working hard too, and you got to stay on the ball there, and that's really big part of what I try to do. Don't take time off, always do something, and stay with the game. I think that's really huge.
Have you been injured during your career?
Yes, a couple times. Injuries are part of the game, and I had the hardest injury for me. That was mentally the hardest challenge for me. I had a heart muscle infection, so the doctors told me I can't play anymore. And I had probably the best year of my career. And if you look at the stats, I had like 20 points in 25 games, and as a defenseman, and then we were really good in the league, and we were first place. And then they say, "Oh, you can't play anymore. Your heart's having a problem." And I had to stop playing for 7 months, no workout, and I felt like shit, to be honest. I mean, that was the worst part of my career. Like you tell a race car driver you can't drive a car anymore, or and it was unnatural to me to play hockey, and now they tell me can't play anymore, and that was very, very hard for me. And I almost blew my career. I was frustrated and then didn't enjoy hockey for a while, so that was really hard.
What was the biggest thing that back then that helped you out, continuing your career and staying there, staying alive?
You know what? It was all my friends and family that I had. A lot of people say I made it on my own, but I disagree with that. Nobody makes it on their own. They have all the help from your friends and family, and they supported me a lot. And I'm really thankful for that. They encouraged me to keep playing and do other things. And I had a really bad year that year after the injury, because I wasn't in very good hockey shape, because take 7 months off, you're gone. And then I had a bad year, a relatively bad year, and yeah, went to Germany, and then I tried something new, and I really prepared well, and that taught me lessons. I gotta be in the best shape. And when I came there to training camp in Germany, I was like top 3 in fitness testing, and I was like, okay, now this is gonna be my year. I know it. But it was a good lesson for me also. You learn from everything, and every low will produce a high if you deal with it. And I think I dealt the right way with it, but I had a lot of help, and I gotta thank the people that helped me. My family and my friends who always positively encouraged me to keep fighting and keep going and enjoy hockey.
You've been repeating a couple of times that when something bad happens, you actually can learn something about it,
Oh,
and
for
I think
sure.
that's a really, really, yeah, that's a really, really good mindset. You're still playing, but of course you have a personal life too. Have you been able to use and adapt these mentality and these ideas, the mindset from the game to a personal life?
Oh, for sure. I mean, in a lot of ways, like the real life is like a sport, like a team. You be nice to people, and they reward you. You work hard for somebody else, and it will come back. Everything comes back in life, and I think that how hockey tells you a lot about being a hard worker, being a humble person, and encourage other to be better as well. And I think that's something that carries on over in the real life too, in especially in the job world, and also in the private life.
I want to talk a little bit more about still your career because you actually made it to the national team, adults national team.
Hmm.
How did it feel back then to put that jersey on?
Oh, it was,
Because that's
yeah.
top thing to achieve
Oh,
for
yeah.
your country.
For sure. Yeah, it was a long way. Like I played many exhibition games before I really like was invited to play in a big tournament like the World Championships. And remember we met in Helsinki. That was my first World Championship ever. And I was 30 years old almost. I was actually 30 years old at that time. So before that, I always tried out to make the team, but I wasn't good enough, and somebody else was better, and wasn't my time, wasn't my place, and I had to wait a long time to make it. But I was so proud when we played Team Canada and we played Team Finland. I had goosebumps playing Team Finland. I still remember that we were playing Hartwall Arena, and the place sang the national anthem. I mean, I don't understand Finnish, but I realized it was a very, very emotional moment for Finland as well. And I mean, what a game to play against the best players in the world. And with that atmosphere, 18,000 crazy Finnish people, cheering on. And I mean, that was something I'll always remember for the rest of my life. Actually, I got goosebumps right now. It's been
Great
great,
memory.
yeah. Oh, it's a great memory, and the best part about it that my brother Matthias was there, and we shared that memory together. It was also his first World Championship, and in that World Championship we both scored a goal in the same game against Russia. I mean, we lost the game, but that's a great memory. I don't think a lot of brothers get to do that, and it was a hard way for him too. So it's really enjoyable, to have moments and memories like that.
I think that's a Hall of Fame moment when
Maybe,
brothers
maybe
score
it could be a
goal.
Hall of Fame. They didn't get our sticks though. I don't know why. That's crazy. We should call them maybe. Maybe Austrian Hall of Fame.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
But then even bigger games, if you talk about the Olympics,
Yeah.
and for athletes, and not every sport is in the Olympics, but that, in my opinion, is of course the biggest venue there is.
Yeah.
So how did it feel step on that airplane to go to the Olympics?
Yeah, it was a crazy. It was when I look back, this all the stuff that led up to it, being sick with my heart problem, and then I went to Sweden and I got fired, and I was the best defenseman on the team, like at most points and best plus minus, and I was really playing well, and I got fired. And in that same year, when I played for another team and then played for the world champion, we qualified for the Olympics. So I knew I have a good chance to go to the Olympics. It was such a bad time, with the injuries and everything, that I never thought I'd play in the Olympics, right? And then 1 year later, oh my God, now like I'm gonna actually fly to the Olympic Games, and it was surreal. I couldn't even believe that it's gonna happen. And even on the plane, I'm like, this is so surreal. And then you see the rink and you see all the big players walking around the locker rooms, and it's like, wow, oh my God, here I am. So
How did it affect you? Were you nervous, or were you just have these goosebumps and you were just
oh,
excited?
I was very excited, but honestly a little bit nervous. They always post up the lineup, and obviously you prepare for the games as much as you can, and they know every player. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like how many big names were in the Olympics. And it was unbelievable. Like, Timo Selänne was there, and we played Finland in the first game, and I mean, just to skate and play a 1-on-1 against Timo Selänne, it's something I remember all my life. We lost the game 8-4, but we led 2-0, so it was a great feeling. Like, oh, we can actually beat these guys maybe. And all the preparation that I made me play well, and I thought I played really well, and I wasn't nervous when the puck dropped, but before I'm like, oh wow, this is a big stage, a lot of people watching. I better be good. So. But it was a great moment, and I remember that for the rest of my life.
How is the whole atmosphere in the Olympic Games? Can you sense it? Do you really feel that you are in the Olympics?
Yeah, of course. It's a very, there's so much media and so much fuss about it, and basically you can't look in your cell phone because there's stuff going on all the time, and you feel like the athletes, like it's a very special moment in everybody's career, and it's fun to talk to everyone, like everybody's the same there, you all eat in the same hall, you all ride the same bus in the Olympic Village. At least in Sochi we did, like you just had a public transport and you go around, and there'd be like Ovechkin sitting on the bus, and we're like, oh, this is Ovechkin over there, and if you want you could say hi, and he'd be like, hey, what's going on, and it's like a family thing, and it's really cool to experience that, and be there, and and soak it all up, like enjoy every moment of it. So it's cool. Can only describe it very vaguely because it's hard to grasp.
For sure. What about these kind of feelings you got from the Olympics? And if you're having a bad moment in the game, or maybe after a game or during the season, can you kind of sit back and go back to those moments and figure out your mindset from there? Like, oh my God, it was great, and this is a really good sport, and
Yeah.
kind of like, does it help you out? This
Oh, for sure,
experience.
for sure. Like knowing that you played with the best, and you have a chance to compete with the best. Like obviously we're not as good as the best players, but you can at least play with them and not look like an idiot. So I trained, and it was worth it. And the training paid off, and I think hockey is a great sport still. And looking back, I had a tremendous career, and I enjoy having played that long. And I want to play a couple more years. Like why not? It's been great to me, and I want to enjoy this as long as I can, because every player that stopped playing told me play as long as you can, and I like to take that advice serious.
You played in many different countries, or at least a couple of.
Yeah.
Is there any special place that you would like to go again, that you really enjoyed and you really liked?
You know, I will definitely go back to Reading, where I played last year. It's not the most famous place for being a very nice city, but we Lisa and I made our baby there. So maybe I'm gonna show her one day the place that she was made at. And that's a very special place when I think about special places. But on the other hand, I have so many good memories, and that's the best part about playing hockey. Going back over 10 years ago, I played my first exhibition game in the ECHL in San Diego, like on a rink on the beach, and I'll never forget that. And the year after, I played for the Alaska Aces, which it's a professional hockey team in Alaska and Anchorage. And I mean, who gets to go there and play hockey? Not a lot of people can tell that story, and they have many great moments of that. And everybody thinks, oh, Alaska, it's got to be cold, it's got to be dark, but there's so many positive things coming out of that, and memories and things I've learned and picked up, and I was really proud to be Alaskan for a year. So that was great.
Now you will have your child. Are you eager to play that long that she will notice that you're a hockey player? Do you have
Yes,
any
you
plan?
know, I told Lisa at least I'm gonna play until, you know, we're gonna give her the name Sophia, so Sophia will get to see me. And I really love to see, you know, to have my daughter out there waving and smiling at me when I play the game, and that'd be a really proud moment, you know, having played all these years, and I want her to know what her father did, you know, that what he enjoyed doing, you know, and then maybe I can give her on that passion, you know, enjoy and love what you're doing. And I think that makes you better, you know, if you really love and enjoy what you are doing, you know. Even there is dark times, or not, nothing's perfect all the time, but you know, if you love it and you enjoy it, then I think that's a very good recipe for having a good time.
You mentioned there the word passion, and I've been now interviewing some athletes already, and they always mention the word passion. And
Hmm.
it seems like the passion is the only thing that actually carries you through all the difficult parts in your sport and really carries you further. If you're not passionate about your sport, it doesn't go that far. You think that way?
Absolutely. I mean, I would have stopped 50 times probably as a kid already, because, you know, like there's sometimes, you know, you can't make a team, or guys are not friendly, you know, they're jealous or whatever. And really, you know, life sucks, and you're like, fuck this, I don't want to play anymore. But the passion is what keeps you going, you know. I think, you know, athletes have that many times in their career, that, you know, like there's something that really pisses you off, or really maybe you have an injury and you feel like, man, I can't get over that you know, hill or mountain. And then there's this little fire in you that keeps you going, you know, and that's that passion that, you know, I want to do it, I'm going to do it, you know. It keeps you pushing every day. And I think the more you do it, and the more mountains you get over, then you know, oh, I'm gonna get that next mountain too, and I can keep going and keep going. And you know, that really, that drive and that feeling, that is what keeps me going. And I'm sure it's true for every athlete that has been in the sport for a while, you know.
I hear you. I was about to ask what Flo is going to do in 10 years, but I'm not maybe going to ask that because there was the answer already. Probably you might
Yeah,
still be playing.
I don't know about that, you know. Maybe 5 years is a good goal, but you know, you got to take it year by year and look forward to what you can do next, you know, because it's a very fast business, and you know, you never know what's happening. But what I will do in 10 years, I don't know. I hopefully I'm going to be a happy father, and be a good person, you know. That's the most important thing, you know. Don't care about if I'm rich or not, or you know, be nice to have a good job wherever life will take me. I don't know yet, but you know, I'm, you know, for now I'm a hockey player, and then I'll see what is waiting out there. Maybe a coach, you know, a lot of experience, and I know a lot of things what not to do, so I can, you know, pass a lot of information to other players. Maybe that's something I will do, but for now I can't even tell you, because you know, I'm enjoying this too much, and don't try to think about it too much.
Keep enjoying, keep
Yeah, I
enjoying.
will.
What about your long hockey career already and it's continuing? What do you say are your keys to your success as a hockey player?
You know what? I think the biggest thing is not giving up a dream, or not. I always tried, you know. I mean, if you look at how I started hockey, hockey in Austria isn't very big. It's not like, you know, when you're born in Austria, they ask you, oh, hockey's a job, you know. And I played for 6 years in Graz, and then I'm like, oh man, this is not enough for me. I want to try more. I want to be better, and I couldn't get past top players in my team, and so I went to a different league and I tried out, and I failed in the tryout, and I made a different team that I originally wanted to make, and you know, I tried out again on the next year, and I made it then, and you know, it's been such a crazy road, but I always tried to achieve something better, you know. I tried, and eventually I just, like, now I'm going in and I'm like, I'm okay, this is what I want to do, this is realistic, this is what I'm gonna do, you know. I have that mindset now, like, okay, I'm gonna go back to North America and be a good player there, you know, or I will come back to Graz and make sure the team is successful again. And this is the mindset that I have, and that's how I prepare. And I think it's, you know, it's been from that drive to try something new, and keep getting better, you know. Like that's something that made me, from a average player to a better player in the league now, and I'm really proud of that, and I got a lot of help from a lot of people, but I really battled through it, and made me better.
Strong words. For sure, this kind of attitude helps everybody in the world in different occasions. Not even hockey, just normal life. If you think that way, for sure,
it does.
carry on somewhere. Let's keep going a little bit. You are back in Graz now. How does it feel to be back in your home country?
Yeah, it's great. It's I say,
and especially in your hometown.
Yes, Graz is so well. You've been here, and I met a lot of great people here. A lot of good hockey players are from Graz. That maybe you don't know they are from Graz, but there's a lot of good hockey players that were in Graz, and Bernd Brückler did the BTM camp, and that's how I met you. And I met a lot of great people here, so I have a lot of memories. And last year, I played for a coach whose brother who was working here in Graz. So I knew him through that, and that's why I went over there to North America to play for him. And it's been a very, very special place for me, and so many memories involving hockey as well. And friends and family and people that I mean, you called me today, and it seemed like we have talked every day. It's been like that, and it's crazy, And I think that's a very emotional and great thing, about my hometown Graz, that I got to meet so many good people here, and I will always enjoy coming back here and living here, and I will probably live, the remainder of my life here if I can, with our family. So it's a very special town to me.
It really feels like it's really in your heart.
Oh yeah,
Graz.
for sure.
And it's good to know your place. That is for sure. I have one more question for you. This has been an amazing ride. Thank you for this conversation.
We have a lot of time.
But one more question is this. What makes you want to wake up in the morning? What makes you happy at the moment?
Right now I wake up all the time at night because, Lisa's not sleeping so well, and, I wake up with her, and or sometimes I'm snoring and she wakes me up, and, I'm like, oh, is the baby coming or not? I mean, it's still a month, but, I'm already nuts, I think. But I'm really looking forward to that. And then every morning I wake up and I look over, and there's this, belly there, and the little baby's moving inside, and, makes me like, I want her to be proud of her dad. And, that's what drives me right now. And, make me a better person every day. And, it's really cool feeling, to become a father and be in that situation that, you get to see the progress every day, and the belly gets bigger, and we go to see what's inside, with the doctor, and you can see all the body parts. It's crazy. So when I get up in the morning, that's right now what really makes me get up and do something and make my life better and make Lisa's life better. So that's a really cool time. And I know you're a father, right? So you know how that feels, right?
I know how it feels.
Yeah.
I know also how it feels to wake up at night.
Yeah. And I think that won't change, I guess, in the near future. So I'm already prepared for it. But it's a very special, time right now, and I really enjoy it.
It's a great step to take, and like I said, congratulations already.
Thanks.
Even though you don't have the little one.
I'll send you a picture once it's there. Maybe do another interview.
For sure. Yeah, we gotta catch you on that.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much, Flo.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, Tommy, it's been great. It's a lot of fun, a lot of good questions. So I was glad I can share. Hope people have a good time and think about what I said, and take something with it or not, or maybe just enjoy the interview. So thanks a lot.
I'm sure they enjoy this. Yeah. And hey, good luck for the season.
Thank you very much.
Just started then.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoy playing in your hometown.
Sounds good, man.
Thank you so much, Flo.
Hey, Tommy, thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Greetings to your family. Bye.